Well, good Sunday morning to everyone. Joe Rayo and on my left, and I'm Joe Chaffee, and welcome to the Sunday morning half awake Joe and Joe weather show. Which, by the way, Joe, I have to share this. So, I live on the side of a mountain in the middle of the woods. The trees are all filled with leaves, so you really can't even see the houses that are near me. They just disappear. So there's nobody really close. I live in a place where fertilizer falls from the sky thanks to all the birds. Why, oh, why, and who, in the name of God, what is all good on this great earth that the Lord created, was some moron this morning with a weed whacker and a leaf blower at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
Oh,
I mean,
oh,
seriously,
no,
you're living in the woods. Who cares if you have leaves on the ground in front of your house? Who cares if you have
I,
weeds?
I don't understand that. And there's some kind of an ordinance, especially let's say on Sunday, that you can't do that until any time before noontime on Sunday. And, during the week, you're all right, 10 o'clock. But 7 a.m.? Come on, give me a break.
Yeah, I don't, I guess because of where I am, if certainly I was back on Long Island, I lived, where I lived, I had neighbors that would routinely do that because they were just, they were certainly obviously weren't well brought up. But, uh, I'm in the mountains here, okay? I'm isolated. And you know what? Sound carries. So when you're isolated, if somebody's a half a mile away and doing something, I actually hear it. I can hear dogs barking that are half a mile to a mile away. This was a lot
I can
closer.
imagine.
This was definitely a lot closer. Oh well, just a minor thing. I mean, in the scope of things, it's not a huge deal, but it just was a little bit annoying. So the Joe and Joe Weather Show brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware. And let me just say this: with the weather that's coming this week, as far as sunshine and no rain, if you haven't gotten your yard in order, this is definitely the week to do it. And get to Omni so you can get all the mulch to make your yard look like, something out of, I can't, I always keep trying to come up with the right phrase to describe what a beautiful yard should look like. Um,
Presentable.
no, beyond presentable. It should be something more
Hmm.
magnificent. But you get the idea, and you can
Oh,
do it in different color mulches. Personally, I'm partial to the red mulch. 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon on Long Island, serving the entire tri-state area. And because they make their own mulch, Joe, they sell it cheaper, and everything has gone up in price big time. So this is a good way to save some money. 631-756-1125 for the best prices in town. OmniTrueValue.com. Also brought to you by Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini, your complete holiday lighting specialist, meeting all your decorating needs at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst, right near Omni in Southwest Suffolk County. 631-957-5106. And the website is liholidaylighting.com. By the way, I did get even with the leaf blowers because my dog was out on the porch barking at squirrels at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I I was counteracting it in the other direction. All right, so we've got. It's funny how things have changed. You've brought up the volatility of the models lately. It's very hard to kind of get a grasp on things in the medium term, but certainly from what I was looking at overnight and this morning, we've got some warm weather this week, and I put it on the table, Joe. A Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday might be a push, but I think it's possible. But Thursday might even be a better shot. But I think Wednesday and Thursday, with enough sunshine, we're going to see 90-degree highs in places.
oh, no question. No question, especially in places, I think, west and south of New York City, especially inland. Temperatures are going to be challenging 90 as we get toward the latter part of this week. Otherwise, I think from Wednesday through all the way out to next Sunday,
Yep.
average temperatures around the tri-state area are going to be within a few degrees of 85, depending upon exactly where you're located. And yeah, you're right. From what I see, with high pressure and control for much, if not all, of the upcoming week, we may not see a single drop of rain here. So it's going to be warm, it's going to be dry, and you're absolutely right too. If you have not had a chance to do anything on your lawn, or put down fertilizer or lime, or even just mow the darn thing, this is certainly the week to do it.
Yes, absolutely. No question about it. Now, as far as today is concerned, we of the last couple of days, this is the one day that you and I talked about last week, is my having maybe the one day where there's uh, more clouds than sun, depending on your location. I'm just kind of looking at I brought up the satellite loop here, and you'll notice this time around, it looks like there's a little bit of a short wave that's going by just south of New York City, and there's clouds back in Pennsylvania down into Virginia and points west. This, there've been a few spot showers around. There's also some big gaping holes in this. That you see some of the clouds just sort of breaking out wide open there in parts of southeastern Pennsylvania as at 11 o'clock Eastern time. So just another cloud. Let's call it a partly sunny day overall. I think that's probably a fair way to put it. And uh, maybe there'll be some scattered showers. There's been some around already this morning. There'll probably be some more scattered showers and maybe an isolated thunderstorm this afternoon. I think most of that should probably be inland. And overall, not too bad a day.
No, not too bad at all. And in fact, on the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, the convective outlook, you're right, replaces generally north and west of New York City. There's a chance, a small one, that we might see a shower or thunderstorm bubble up later on today or very early tonight. The same holds true for tomorrow. But then, as we look into Tuesday, the SPC has much of our area out of the zone for general thunderstorm activity. That's probably due to that cold front that we spoke of at the end of last week, coming on through or pushing on through the area and ushering in a new ridge of high pressure. And that high pressure ridge likely is going to just simply take over and say, all right, guys, I've got it from here, and more or less hold us in a pattern of dry and, again, increasingly warmer weather for much of the middle and latter part of next week into the weekend.
Yeah, in agreement. The radar as of, well, let me give it a quick refresh here so that we have something current. The radar courtesy of tornadohq.com. Still waiting for the UCAR to find a good alternative source for a U.S. based radar. So for now, I can't really loop this, so it's a solo shot, and this is as of 11:09 a.m. Noticing some scattered showers up in parts of southern New York, down south through central most Pennsylvania. Kind of a narrow band there that runs down into western Virginia. There's not really a whole lot going on anywhere else. A little bit of scattered shower activity up in northern New England. Noticing some heavier downpours and perhaps some thunderstorms getting ready to develop from Nebraska to East Kansas. And also a little hook there on the radar back in southern Oklahoma. This is where I think some of the bigger severe weather risk is today, down in the southern plains. And the Storm Prediction Center showing marginal to slight risk from Texas on up into southern Nebraska and extending east into western Missouri. For tomorrow, the Storm Prediction Center has the slight risk and marginal risk in almost the same place. So this is where the action is going to be this week, and you see, that's still that instability in general thunderstorm area being indicated for Monday in the Northeast. But as you point out, Joe, by Tuesday it's gone, and just left with some marginal risk down in Texas and southern Oklahoma. One thing about you folks in the deep South, from say Mississippi on eastward, this has been a target zone, and we've got this big ridge that is developing in the eastern part of the United States, and this is going to be good news for you because it really effectively shuts down the severe weather season in the deep south, or certainly through this coming week and probably into next weekend, as long as the ridge holds. And I've got the upper air just to show you here what's going on. But we're building this big upper high in the east, and it only gets stronger as we go into the Friday and the weekend. You see that 591 cutoff high in northern Georgia. The warmest air in terms of relative to normal is going to be to the north and northeast, which means New England, the New England, the Northeast, the northern Mid-Atlantic states are going to see, some very large departures from normal. And meanwhile, you'll notice deep trough, deep upper low dropping down into the west, into Oregon, California, and Nevada. And then that lifts up northeastward into Montana. So this doesn't look like it's going to be one that's going to bring some late season snow to Colorado. I mean, they've already had enough of that. But trough in the west, ridge in the east. And again, with this big ridge in the southeast, it just really shuts off any kind of severe weather for, I would say, at least maybe the next week to 10 days in the deep south.
Well, the Storm Prediction Center normally at this time of the year, the staff that mans the Oklahoma Storm Prediction Center, or Norman, Oklahoma, are usually quite busy at this time. So I think it's going to be kind of strange for them. I mean, not to say that the whole country or even much of the country is going to go without thunderstorms or even a severe weather threat. But really, at least in the eastern part of the country, because of that huge high pressure ridge, things are going to be unusually quiet for the next over much of this upcoming week. So you might say that those guys actually have a little bit of a holiday. It might be something similar to what they usually go through in November and December in some cases. So it's going to be an easy week. It's going to be a quiet week. Unfortunately, we've spoken about the fact that at Central Park, they're already about 2 to 2.5 inches below normal in terms of rainfall. We're not there yet in terms of the declaration of exceptionally dry or maybe drought-like conditions. But I'll tell you what, if everything works out the way we think it's going to work out for this upcoming week, by this time next week, we might be thinking about dry conditions, extreme conditions, or even drought conditions for parts of our area.
WPC has no rain. Southern New England, down the coastal plain into eastern Virginia, eastern North Carolina, and we're talking a quarter or a tenth of an inch or less in the areas that show up as rain from northern North Carolina on up into central and parts of northern New England. And look at the southeast. I mean, not a drop. No rain for the next 7 days across much of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, northern and central Florida, Alabama, eastern Mississippi, most of Tennessee. So, and even when you start to get into the green, you're only talking about a quarter, a tenth of an inch, or a quarter of an inch or less. There will, however, of course, there's always a counterbalance, and in the other direction is mega rainfall in the next 7 days in much of eastern Texas and points northward into Oklahoma, western Arkansas. The WPC forecasting 7 to 10 inches of rain, Joe. And this makes sense, really, when you have a ridge in the east like this, and all the energy is just kind of, whatever energy there is in the atmosphere is sort of piling on in the southwest and moving eastward. It's this area in the southern plains that really gets hit very hard. And rainfall is going to be the big deal here over the next week. And also across the northern Rockies, we're seeing a lot of moisture streaming across Montana, North Dakota, and northern Minnesota. I mean, it's not the 7 to 10 inches, but it's 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches of liquid over the next 7 days. So that's not too shabby for that area. This much of California dry, Arizona dry. That's not exactly breaking news, and same for New Mexico. So it's a very interesting pattern to get here, because potentially, Joe, for us here in the east with this ridge, and we're kind of on the edge of that northwest flow. So this is heated air, it's downslope, it's dry air. This is where you could see temperatures really move up in a big way.
Yeah, and that ridge is going to be prolific. I'm just very quickly running the GFS rapidly over the next for the next 10 to 15 days. They do show some signs of some kind of widely scattered shower activity affecting the Northeast, let's say for Saturday, of course, next Saturday. And that may or may not happen. somebody, I think it was Frank Riccio, I may be mistaken, but somebody on the chat board said, will this be the first May in quite a few years where we don't have any tropical storm or tropical cyclone activity to be concerned with? Because the last, I think, like 4 out of 6 years, we've had unusually early activity blossom or pop up in the month of May. And going through the GFS again very quickly, which now, believe it or not, takes us all the way out to the start of June. If you want to take this at face value, yeah, that might very well be the case. It doesn't look like any kind of potential tropical activity sprouting up in the immediate vicinity. But again, we could be wrong on that.
We could be, but it's not really very likely. In the meantime,
true.
The one thing you do have to watch for in the Northeast anyway, in the northern mid-Atlantic states, because we are on the edge of the northwest flow, there's always a chance that you could have some kind of shortwave in there that the models aren't picking up very well. It doesn't look like that would be a problem, as you said, Joe, until maybe toward the end of the week, where something, here's a situation, for example, Friday night into Saturday, or even Thursday night into Friday, something riding kind of over the top of the upper high. That winds up producing a shower or a thunderstorm, and then it's gone. But it's interesting to see that the ridge of high pressure in the eastern part of the United States is so dominant. The other thing is, of course, with respect to where the severe weather issues are, you see that short wave today sitting in southern California and moving through Arizona and rotating eastward. That is the trigger mechanism here. This system right there, the trigger mechanism for showers and storms and the potential for severe weather in the southern and parts of the central plains. This upper low is going to wind up weakening somewhat during the next couple of days. So that's why the area of severe weather, while it's still there on Tuesday, kind of diminishes as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. But also, you still got more troughing in the west, and that is going to likely bring some more moisture up into the southern plains toward as we move through the latter part of this week. So that's why WPC is so bullish with respect to the rainfall. And I would agree with you, by the way, on the tropics, Joe. We'd be far more likely to see, you look back at the tropical storms that formed in May, they usually don't come out of tropical waves, but they tend to develop out of old frontal boundaries that just sit around and warm up, and a low forms on it, and it becomes a warm core system. It's hard to imagine that you're going to see something develop with such a big, huge upper high sitting in the southeast. The only thing I will say is it does lower pressures down in the Caribbean and points south. So, and that's where the Northwest Caribbean is usually where you do see, if you're going to see early tropical cyclone development, it usually comes there. Right now, the ridge is dominating, but if it creates an area of lower pressures to the south, it's something that we'll have to consider if and when it happens. In the meantime, just running through the GFS real quick. Again, you see anything that's coming out of the west just sort of dries up in the Ohio Valley with those showers there in Indiana, Illinois, eastern Tennessee on Tuesday, and then they're just gone. And you also see the heavier precip and the severe weather that's being generated by the GFS Monday and Tuesday, and then again also for Wednesday and Thursday in points further south. But in the east, it's high pressure along the coast, the west-southwest wind. I don't know that there's going to be too much of a sea breeze to worry about in these conditions. So except for the immediate coast, I think those are the only places that might wind up having some temperature issues at some point during the day. But yeah, that's a minor problem. And that trough in the west, by the way, you can see that low that forms in Utah brings actually snow in parts of eastern Oregon, northern Idaho, and northwestern Montana. That low goes well north and west of Colorado, however, so that's not going to cause any problems there. But there's where your late season snowfall is going to wind up being, up in the northern Rockies.
And they deserve it.
Yes, be nice.
Yes.
Be nice.
Yes.
You know. So I don't know.
And
go ahead.
Yeah, go.
No, you
go.
No, you
go.
No, you go.
No, you go. No, pardon me. After you.
No. By all means.
What are we? Something Macintosh?
We're Macintosh.
What are we, Macintosh?
Well, we are Macintosh. The Gopher twins.
Yeah.
My dog is
No, what I was going
barking
to.
in the background. I don't know. Maybe there's a bear that's trying to scale the porch. I'm not sure.
But by the way, Renata was asking about this yesterday. Whatever happened to your little feathered friend? Did you finally let him fly off into the woods or whatever?
Yes, I did.
The baby robin.
I put him out on the porch, and he jumped on he flew to the railing and just kind of sat there for a couple of hours, and then um, he just took off. So I was happy. I only had him for a few days, and um, the final outcome, I'm not sure what that is, but for the most part, uh, he is he's out there somewhere, I hope.
Yes. Yes. All right.
So we're
Okay.
back up full screen here. We're gonna make this a short show today because A, there really isn't too much happening. B, the weather is very good outside for the most part, so I think we all should take advantage and take the time out to enjoy it. So um, I think we're
And
going to.
thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Brendan Doherty, for hitting super chats this early Sunday morning. That's always nice to have.
Yes, thank you so much. It's an extra cup of coffee, or in this case, down here with the beautiful weather, by the way, down here yesterday was up around 80. We had lots of blue sky and sunshine, having another pretty good looking day today. There are a few patchy clouds around today, helping to hold the temperatures down up here in the mountains. But on the whole, very, very good weather. Just want to mention real quick before we go, this week we're looking at was it, Joe? Was it Tuesday and Wednesday or Wednesday and Thursday? Moving the show.
Well, actually, here it is. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we'll be doing Joe and Joe at 8:30 because I have 3 virtual library talks coming up tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then on Thursday, instead of 8:30, we could move it to 8 o'clock because the talk that I have on Thursday is at 6:30. So it's going to be an active week for me in the evening hours doing these presentations. So we have to juggle the schedule a little bit, but we will be on 8:30, an hour later than normal, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then a half hour later, 8 o'clock on Thursday.
Actually, I am going to make one small change in that. So tomorrow,
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 8:30. Thursday, no show. We're going to take Thursday off and not come back till Sunday because I'm going to get on the road Thursday and head north. So,
Are you coming back here?
yeah.
Oh, well, welcome back. Well,
Yes.
I'll say welcome back to you next week. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
All right. So mark that down on your calendars, everybody. And again, 8:30 for tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday nights, and no show on Thursday of this coming week. So I know some people.
Thank you, Leon.
Go ahead.
Leon Probitsky is now kicked in on super chats, and we always, of course, thank Leon for his contributions.
Yes, thank you so much, Leon, and enjoy your day. By the way, as everyone on the chat board, enjoy your day. The Joe and Joe Weather Show brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon on Long Island, serving the entire tri-state area with all the mulch you could possibly need. And they make it there. Best prices in town, a lot cheaper than the big box stores. And most importantly, you are supporting a local business. And no better time than now to support your local businesses. 631-756-1125. The website is omnitruevalue.com. So everybody, have a great rest of your Sunday. And we'll see you tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern Time. Bye, everybody.
Joe, before we sign off,
Mm-hmm.
Brendan Doherty on the chat board asking, can we see or find your talks? If you go on my Facebook page, Joe Rea Weather at facebook.com, you will find links to 2 of the talks I'm giving this week. Tomorrow night, I'm giving a talk for the Gold Coast Library on Long Island, believe it or not, on the upcoming eclipse of the sun that'll be occurring on June the 10th. And then on Tuesday, I forget which library it is, but on Tuesday, I'm giving a different talk, 7 Wonders of the Universe, We have seven wonders of the ancient world, and there are seven wonders in the nighttime sky. And so I'll be doing a little balancing act, comparing each one as to what we can see with binoculars or small telescope. And that'll be on Tuesday night. But the links to get the invitation, the Zoom invitations to both of those talks, again, are on my Facebook page, Joe Rayo Weather at facebook.com. There you
All
go.
right, there you go. No Matt K. We didn't consult Mr. Ruben Fairchild about changing the schedule this week, or not having a show on Thursday. All right, but he's too busy talking with Sal Blandino these days anyway. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern.